now the drums. Dress! Drum major! The troop! Steady up! Attention! Shoulder! Arms! One, two. Tackle from right to the front, below the left by sections. Left wheel! March! Oh! Front. On the right. Dress. Front. For a night, R&R, I'm my second yard. And remainder. Left. Pace. Three paces forward. March! Hut! Gain the space for the colors. On the right! Dress! Hut! Order! Arms! 2, 3, 4. Shoulder! Arms! 1, 2. Stand over here. Stand right here. No arms swinging, hands at your side. Battalion! Order! Arms! 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Fix! Finish! Shoulder! Arms! 1, 2. On the right, press. March on the colors. To the colors. Present. Arms. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Shoulder! Arms! 2, 3, 4. Battalion will take the open order. Wait for it! Rear rank, take the open order. March! Battalion will perform the inspection exercise. Open! Pens!
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Port! Arms!
1.
Hands should be up in front of your breastplates, not from your belly buttons.
Shoulder! Arms!
2, 3, 4.
Shot! Hands!
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Order! Arms!
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Cast! Bow! Draw! Runners! Unfix! Bayonets! Shoulder! Arms!
1, 2,
Hang! Arms! Take close order! Rear rank! Take the close order! March! Battalion will move off to the right in open column of companies. 5 companies on your left. Backwards wheel. March. Left, right. Front. Turn will advance. March.
Right shoulder forward. March. Counter marching to the left. March. Forward.
Thanks, Josie. You're gonna have to take a swim. Remove your dampening. Put on your
Stack them up. All right, go lane. High, front. Italian. March there. March.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, bienvenue, Sego. On behalf of the staff of Old Fort Erie and the Niagara Parks Commission, I'd like to welcome you to our commemorative service. This is the 39th year that reenactors have gathered on these grounds to honor those who fell in battle here in the summer and early fall of 1814. And welcome to the audience who's come here to join us on a Sunday morning. Very kind of you to come here. For the folks who are not reenactors, on the field before you are people who are visiting from, we believe, 8 or 9 different U.S. states and 5 different Canadian provinces. So we have people who come from Halifax, Louisiana, Winnipeg, just to be here this week. So we can obviously, round of applause. And we have not only reenactors, but a lot of former staff come back because they love this old fort. And with us today are some of the people who originated this event 39 years ago. Jesse Pudwell traveled from Halifax to be here. Peter Warden is one of the originators of this event. And Craig Williams, who you'll hear from later today. They are the guys who started this event many years ago and are still participating, telling people about the history of this area. We want to congratulate Tom Fournier, who's now the commander of the Crown Forces, who had a lovely parade yesterday morning honoring Craig, who was a former commander, and now Tom, who's taken over. But personally, I want to thank 2 people. We have a staff member here who looks after all these grounds. If you live in Fort Erie and you like the Parkway, you can thank Rob Shedden. Rob just does everything, and he looks after this place beautifully. And just a fantastic guy. So I want to thank Rob. I want to thank somebody else who has taken on a ton of worked tirelessly for this place. She's the manager of Old Fort Erie. And Erin takes on challenges and works with people, shows a great deal of empathy. She's thoughtful. In the last little while, she's shown physical and mental toughness and a bit of bravery that I know I don't have. So, Erin, thank you very much for your hard work. Of course, we're here today. It's a little bit to talk about the people who are actually here. And there was 3 gentlemen who served in the fighting here. They all survived to write about their experiences. And funny enough, even though they were fighting each other, their first name was all John. There's 3 guys named John. John LeCouture, John Norton, whose indigenous name was Tannen O'Garwin, and John Kearsley. John LeCouture was a young lieutenant in the 104th Foot, made up entirely of men from New Brunswick. John Norton was a Six Nations war captain, and John Kearsley was a lieutenant in the 4th U.S. Rifle Regiment. And they wrote about their experiences here. Now, some of these men had been fighting for 3 years at this point. And even in 1814, some of them had been fighting all through the summer. The fighting had started in July, and they fought here right through till September. And there was even more fighting in October. And what all of these men have in common when they write about their experiences here is they're exhausted and they're tired of losing their good friends. So even though they're on opposite sides and may not have the same point of view, that is what, not only do they share a first name, but they share that feeling of loss. That they, all three of these men are able to express it in a very powerful way. So that's sort of what these great folks do for us. Just give us a little sense, a little feeling of what it might have been like to walk a mile in the shoes of LeCouture, Norton, or Kearsley. It'll never bring back the real experience these guys had here, which was pretty terrible, but that's one way of honoring the past, is telling their stories. At this time, I'd like to call upon Martin Land, who's the commander of the U.S. forces here at the siege of Fort Erie. He's coming all the way from Fort Magnus, a fantastic historic site in Ohio. Sir?
Well, good morning. Good morning to thank you so for coming out so early for us. Well, 10 o'clock's not really that early, but after Saturday night, it's early for us. Of course, all the U.S. reenactors I have the honor to know, and all the Ground Forces reenactors I also have the honor to know. Now, this is all very colorful and pretty, and it put me in mind this morning of a quote from an American general who said, "It is good that war is so terrible, else we would grow to love it too much." Because this pomp and circumstance is one of the things that these people enjoy. We're kind of strange that way. But the other part is, of course, that what we're doing is we are trying to represent soldiers that died all through North America in the War of 1812, and of course, by extension, all soldiers. Many of these soldiers, I'm just looking this way because that's where the microphone is, right? Many of these soldiers were buried in unmarked graves, and for most of them, perhaps, their names are lost. At best, they're in some musty archive someplace, buried in with muster rolls from the New York State Militia, or the Ohio Militia, or Crown Forces records. And so, what I like to think of is that when we do memorial ceremonies like this, we are honoring and we are representing, this part we need to remember as reenactors, we are representing those soldiers who died for their countries, who today lie in unmarked graves with no names. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call upon Craig Williams, formerly commander of the Crown Forces. Craig?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. One of the things that's the most important to all the people standing here is the act of remembrance, the act of commemoration. It's a sacred trust and it's a sacred duty for us to do this. We need to remember those people, otherwise they would just be forgotten. And I think that's the greatest shame, is when those names are lost to history. Before I go any further, I was asked to include some names from the Provincial Marine and Western Rangers who passed just recently this year. These are modern reenactors who have joined those people who went before. David May, Stephen Smith, Vernon Kuhn, Sylvia Kuhn, and Marcus Fraser. You keep them in your thoughts during the moment of silence. As is my wont on these occasions, I like to read a poem that really does describe that sense of loss for the British and the Americans, or any soldier. It's called The Burial of Sir John Moore. Not a drum was heard, not a funeral note, as his corpse to the rampart we hurried. Not a soldier discharged his farewell shot, or the grave where our hero was buried. We buried him darkly at the dead of night, with the sods with our bayonets turning, by the struggling moonbeam's misty light, and the lantern dimly burning. No useless coffin enclosed his breast, not in sheet or in shroud we wound him, but he lay like a warrior taking his rest, with his martial cloak around him. Few and short were the prayers we said, and we spoke not a word of sorrow, but steadfastly gazed on the face that was dead, and we bitterly thought of the morrow. We thought as we hollowed out his narrow bed, and smoothed down his lonely pillow, that foe and the stranger would tread o'er his head, and we far away in the billow. Lightly they'll talk of the spirit that's gone, and o'er his ashes upbraid him, but little he'll reck if we let him sleep on in a grave where Britons have laid him. But half of our heavy task was done when the clock struck the hour for retiring, and we heard the distant and random gun that the foe was selling fire. Slowly and sadly we laid him down in the field of his famed precious gourd. We carved not a line, we raised not a stone, but we left him alone.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, will be the Remembrance ceremony, and we'll ask the unit commanders to put their troops in position for this portion of the ceremony.
Battalion, attention!
Battalion! Attention!
Arms!
Shoulder! Arms!
Rear rank, face this way!
Present! Arms!
Left on! March!
Reverse! Arms! Rest on arms! Reverse!
So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, we'll ask you to stand, actually, and doff your caps. And we will call upon Drum Major Ross Flowers with the drums, the Crown Forces. We'll play a lament for the fallen. This will be followed by a moment of silence. And that moment of silence will be broken by a single round of fire by the cannon on the far side of the field. That's Representative Cushing's company of the 2nd U.S. Artillery, visiting us from the historic site of Fort Banks, Ohio. Drum Major.
Shoulder! Arms! Order! Arms! Order! Arms! Done that! Ease!
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Of course, everybody visiting today are welcome to go through the camps. At 1 o'clock will be the last battle of the weekend, where the troops here will reenact the sortie, a battle that doesn't even have a name, where almost 1,100 men were killed and wounded in the fighting here at Old Fort Erie. This is basically the end of the siege that took place here in 1814. The troops will head back to camp. There'll be more activity going on throughout. You're welcome to wander the fields until 1 o'clock for a tour of the site. So, again, to all of our volunteers who traveled hundreds of miles and kilometers, in some cases, thank you, merci, Yahweh, which, and a round of applause, maybe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again.
On the colors! Dress! Eyes! Front! Order! March!
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Stand at ease! Sergeant!
Yes.
New recruits, sergeants, you know who I asked you for, and have those men step forward.
Will everyone appreciate what's going on? Sergeant Hendricks has been doing recruiting on all our behalf. So he has the recruiting fly at the edge of the merchants area. So he asked if we could incorporate a recognition. So a new recruit that has gotten all their kit into the season, then recognize them for the show. Cheers from the recruiting sergeant and our new recruit. Hip hip huzzah! Hip hip huzzah! Hip hip huzzah!
Battalion! Attention! Fix! Bayonets! Shoulder! Arms! March off the colors! To the colors! Present! Shoulder! Arms!
2, 3, 4.
Order! Arms!
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
On fix! Bayonet! Stand at ease! Thank you all for joining us this morning. I know you all know that memorial services meant a lot to General Williams. The same goes for General Fournier and myself. We really appreciate you coming out in the morning. This is what we're here for. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for what you do. We are back in 1245. That was when the troop was so how much time so we have attention! Shoulder! Arms! By the right of companies!